Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. And start that one up, and I'm going to go to power over here, and I'm going to take the conductive wire which is running into that one up there, and I'm going to run that over and join it into here. And hopefully that will sort that out. Conductive wire over this side, and making that out of copper. That's going to go over there. Oh, wait a minute. This one doesn't use power. I genuinely thought this used power. So what does the kiln take? This is under construction. Okay. Now I'm just confused. Okay, the kiln doesn't actually take anything. But what I want to do with the kiln is I want to make refined carbon. It turns coal into refined carbon. 125 kilos of coal makes refined carbon. I'm just going to put that on a forever cycle. And I'm only going to leave that on a level 5. So that's just going to stay there like that. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to make a new storage facility up here. I think we've now got new printables available. I'm going to have a storage facility which I'm going to plonk right down there. And I'm going to allow that one to store carbon. And I'm going to do another one which is going to go there, that side of the Wheezewort. And that one is going to be for storing. So this is metal, organic, raw mineral. Is it under raw mineral? Not in there. It might be consumable coal, refined carbon, right there. I want that one to go in there. So that is going to be only refined carbon. I got another storage bin over there. And I've got another thing that I'm going to be making in a minute. Joya seeds. Okay, I'm not sure. We're digging up buried objects, mate. Yeah, I don't know what a Joya seed, the seed of a jumping joy. I don't know what they're used for. I'm just going to reject those for now. And we're going to have a look here in the rock crusher. And we got eggshell into lime. Now, I've got 1,500 kilos of eggshell. 5 kilos will give me 5 kilos of lime, which is absolutely wonderful. So I want to start using up the eggshells, and I want them to go in there and then be turned into lime. And then we will use that. Here, he's already making his first lot right there. Right, come on. We're running out of oxygen in here. Temperature is a big thing. I've got to work on the temperature. So I've now got some lime down here, right there. 5 kilos consumable ore as lime. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to go under, is it manufactured? It's not manufactured material. It's filtration, no. Industrial, no. No. Refined, it's not under refined metal. Raw mineral, I don't think it is, no. What's it come under? It's got to be something. Oh, consumable ore. Yes, lime, right there. So that one, I'm going to put lime into that storage right there. Now, this one, we've got iron ore turning into iron on a forever thing. I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm going to turn that one off. Right there, and we're going to go iron to steel over here. We've now got 10 kilos of lime, we've got the refined carbon, we've got iron here. I've got 38 tons of that stuff, so we have got plenty. I'm going to put that on a forever loop right here, and I'm going to enable that building. So we're going to start making steel as much as we possibly can. Now, the other thing that I need to do is to really address the cooling issues that we are having with this base. I got 2 dupes who are being scolded, and they're being scolded up here. Now, what I don't understand is why I've got water. Oh, I see. Right, I've got water coming out because of heat damage. It's too hot on there. The water's coming in at 44, and then it heats the water up even more. I don't want this hot water coming in there. I've got to do something different. Right, iron to steel in here, heat 117. Overheat temperature at 90 degrees. Not the metal refinery awaiting coolant. It's the pipes going into it. They're the ones that are struggling. Actually, it's not even those pipes. It's the pipes coming out of it that are breaking. It's too hot when they come out. The water coming out is too hot. This water over here is 18 degrees, so that's the one that I need to be using. So what we're going to do is we're going to change these pipes around a little bit. We are going to remove that bit of pipe right there a second. Not sure what this valve was for. Then we're going to... I've got this one. Storage capacity 5 tons. I can't even remember what that one was for. I think that was supposed to, like, store it so then it looped around and came back in, but I don't want it to do that. So what I'm going to do here instead is I'm just going to go like that. That liquid valve right there. I'm going to deconstruct that one. Automation. I had automation looping up there, but I didn't need it down here. So this one I'm going to deconstruct this one. He doesn't have anything in it anyway. And then I'm going to deconstruct that liquid bridge. Like that. So we've pulled everything out of here now. I'll mop up the mess that we've made up here, and I will mop up this mess that we've made down here as well. We will switch to, not temperature, sorry, the plumbing overlay right here. That one can go, those two, there, that one, and that one. Right. Also you. Okay, so there's those bits out of the way. Then I want to go to plumbing, and I want liquid pipe, and I want that one to pop into there so that it joins into this one. And then that is going to come down from there, and it's going to come into this one, which means that this over here, this cooling loop, that's going to jump into there. That should, I'm hoping, allow everything to flow properly. Now, if it doesn't, I gotta add in a couple of liquid bridges on this in order to make it work right, because sometimes the water does some strange things, and I've noticed this before. It will do very weird things, but it's not doing anything weird there. That's coming in exactly as I'd like it to, and it will fill this up with coolant. Now that coolant is also going to be a bit cooler than it was previously. So we've got lime coming in. That's coming in at 40 degrees right there. That's gone up to 46 degrees. What I think I'm going to need to do, though, is have the radiant liquid pipe come up around this a little bit, because this one's going to be packing out quite a bit of heat as well, and we're going to need that cooling down. So while that's working, we'll just sort of watch this a minute. That's got to be filled up right there. It's on a work errand that nobody's actually doing anything to it at the moment. Current order. Come up and actually make some steel here. That would be great. But you can see Bert is taking heat damage there. It's too hot for him. Poor bloke. It is too hot. But it does look like, as soon as the save has happened, the steel is coming through just fine. There. Right. That's coming out of there absolutely fine. It's coming through at 87 degrees. The temperature's going in at like 24. It's coming out at like 80 odd degrees in here, which that's absolutely fine. We're quite happy with that. So then I'm going to go with plumbing radiant pipe, and I'm going to change this to radiant pipe over here. I'm going to bring that radiant pipe up and down, and then over this. Actually, no, we'll go back. I'm going to remove that little bit of pipe right there, because I'm going to want radiant pipe to go up here so that we can hopefully cool things down a little bit more. We're going to go to plumbing. Radiant pipe there. We'll bring that down, and we're going to sort of loop this around this area as well and fully make use of this pipe coming through. And then pushing back up this way. Like that. There. Lots and lots of extra radiant pipe going in there. I'm hoping that all of that going through will cause all of this to run through as well. Now, we look up here, we are still a bit short on... See, I don't think it's that we're short on power, it's just that because the extra... Oh, maybe we are short on power. No, that they are. Yeah, that we're still short on power. We are still a little short on power on there, which is why we've got these extra bits coming through. So we just let that all go in there and do what it needs to do, but we have no power. We've got none at all. It's because at the moment we've got none of this. We've got no natural gas coming in. We've got little tiny bits coming from this setup, but I haven't really got very much. Maximum gas pressure for you. See, this is the kind of difficulties that I'm up against, and you can do things about it. It just takes a long time to do anything about it. And all of these things, like that, they work, and that there's solutions to them that work really well, but it takes a long time to sort of slowly get through and produce all of these solutions and do everything that you need to do to make it all work. Right? I can make it work, and it will do over time. It just takes ages to get there. Now, that one's dormant. This is running down here still. So I'm going to run all the way down here. And I've got the liquid pump down there. That one's going. I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to disable that building. And we're not going to pump any more salt water for the minute. I want to use those for cooling to go through the base. That's another thing. It's going to take absolutely ages to kind of produce and do. And yeah, like it's all stuff that I can do, and I can do fairly efficiently over time, but it takes ages. It takes a very long time to, like, get it all properly sorted out. Now, I've got plastic tiles up there, and I've got pipes going up in here. I was going to dig some of this out so that we can make use of that, and we can build the room. And then the final end game for all of it is going up and building rockets up the top. And I've got some ideas that I've seen about that, because that's your build roof up there. And basically, one of the best ideas I've seen was you just build a load of walls all the way up here. And it doesn't allow very much of this to build up, and it keeps you away. Don't worry about solar panels. And then sort of you build up a massive, great big rocket and so on. But it takes ages. It all takes a long time. Most of you who are now watching the series already know how all of this works, and you've just been kind of watching me bumble my way through, and... Oh, this is the thing I want to do in here. Although that's only for that one, isn't it? Yeah, that only comes up and operates these two doors. So it doesn't matter that those two doors are currently flooded. They don't matter. This down here, this does matter, though. I do want to do something about that. And I got the anti-entropy device down here. This is really hot in here. I got radiant pipe coming in, and the anti-entropy thermo nullifier does do a great job, but it's still too cold. It's not too cold. It's too hot. So there's lots and lots of pressures. There's lots of things that we need to deal with. We need to be able to remove a load of this. And pump gas out of this area so that this is max gas pressure right now. I can't do anything else because I've got 5.5 kilos of carbon dioxide in there. The pressure is just too high for it to be able to actually do anything. Which means that I got to find a way of removing a whole load of gas from here without, like, breaking my entire base, and then I've got to find somewhere to go and pump it away, and most of you already know this anyway. So, like, I can bring down here, we've got relatively low pressure, so I could bring it down over this way. Now, in here, I've got plenty of oil, and we don't need to worry about oil at the moment. We've got an oil reservoir there. We've got an oil reservoir over there. And there may be another one under here somewhere. We've got plenty of them. We don't need to worry about those. Yeah, kind of like I'm up against it a bit here. So it's, what do I want to do before I kind of wrap up the series? I feel like just abandoning it is not right. I don't really want to just, you know, just drop. But I mean, I've now got some. I've got some steel, right? We've made some steel. I've got some steel there, which means that I can make some steel items. There is one thing that I would like to make, I think, and we'll kind of call that the ultimate achievement, because I believe I've got it. Oh, and research. I did also find out about the research. This over here, in order to actually do that, you have to... Interstellar research is required to unlock space technologies. It can be conducted at a virtual planetarium. In order to get the points that you need to do it at the planetarium, which we have got, station right here, is a virtual planetarium right there. And I can go and make that bad boy, and I can put that down wherever I want to. But you've got to launch a rocket in order to get the points to bring back and research. Kind of like the Factorio way that the research works in that one. So, yeah, there's that one there is kind of like still on the to-do list to do. Next was, like, I wanted to make the bedrooms, and I love the idea of building up a load of these bedrooms. I've got insufficient oxygen generation at the moment, and that is because I've got insufficient power, and basically it all comes down to the gas pressure that we've got over here, which is just too high. So what we want to do is we want to remove the excess gas that's coming from here, and we want to pump that somewhere else. Now, in the base itself, if you have a look at that, we've got a load of chlorine coming in there. That gas pressure is about 360 grams. Down here, that gas pressure is about 1,000. In here, I'm close to 5 kilos of gas pressure. Which, in there, it's this bit in here, this is really high gas pressure in here. So we need to be moving that. But I don't want it just, like, hanging around out here. It's going to end up being too high, and I want to, like, move it elsewhere. But I wanted to do this because I wanted to filter out the... I may end up just having to open up the sides with vents here and allow it all to escape. But what I want to do, more importantly, is I want to get that gas and I want to move it. So I want to bring it down here. We will do that one a minute. So let's go over to here. I've got chlorine moving all the way around over there, and I think possibly the best way to remove that gas up there is to bring it down and go through here somewhere. Although that means, like, building up a whole load of new stuff, and it would actually be easier if I just do this. Right, and see what we're going to do. We're going to put that one in there like that. We're going to go over here. We're going to put that one down like that, and... No, we're not. We're just going to put that one there like that. This one, I'll cancel that build. And then we go into ventilation over here, gas pipe. We will have this, and that is going to... I'm going to leave a gap of 1 in case I do want to skip a gas pipe across there. That's going to come down here like that. I'm going to run all the way over and join into that one. And then I'm going to change this up to a priority 9. That one's going to go... actually, I'll leave it there. I'll run along like this. Straight line into there. And then that's going to go over this way and all the way down here. Just to the first level. And we'll bring it all the way back over to here and then stop. That one can go right there. I'll bring it up a little bit like that. And then we will stick a high-pressure gas vent on there so that it can push everything out that we could possibly want shoved out. And that will just kind of fill this area up here. One thing that I will do is I'm going to change this to mesh tiles. I'll use iron ore for this. I'm going to do 5 mesh tiles directly underneath like that to just allow a bit of gas exchange on there. So that's all going to run through. They're going to be a little bit busy and very quickly scurry around and go and do that. And then when they have done that, we can then remove this one. Now, right now, we've got a major issue with all of this gas pressure. So we're going to also want to just open this door right here. I'll just set that one to open a second. This in here, they don't need to come in here. That they've come in here a little bit, but they don't need to do a great deal. Now, that one should be set to open in a minute. The oil refinery here is struggling. Someone come and open my door here. Pending door state. See, and now I've got these two are both running. You get enough petroleum coming out of this one machine right here. There, now that's open, and you can see the very fast exchange of gas right in there. And the pressure out here is climbing. With these two going, it means that we have got a decent bit of power coming in. I want to go to the plumbing overlay right here. One of those should, in theory, be enough to keep both of these running. Think. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that that is enough to keep them both running, so long as I can have someone here working the oil refinery. I'm actually put that one as a priority 7. Now, what I've also got is I'm going to take out this oil refinery a second, and you know what I'm going to do? Disable the building a second. Right there. And then I want to deconstruct the building. Right, and this is still running. It's got a reasonable amount of stuff in it, and I want to rip that one apart. I love the way that it's dropped the crude oil into a canister there rather than doing anything else. And the reason that I am now just taking that one apart is because I want to build it out of steel, which has got an overheat temperature of plus 200. We're working outside on this one. Not petroleum generator. This is refinement that we want. Let me just wait for it to save a second. See, it's going to do that here we go. Takes ages to save every time now. Nearly 1,000 cycles on this. It's refinement that I want. And the oil refinery right there. This is the bad boy that I want, and I want to drop that in there. And I want to make it out of steels that has got plus 200 on its overheat temperature, which means that it will be able to withstand a lot more overheating than what it's doing right now. So they're going to go and bring all the steel in there and do that, which they are currently making up here. We've got a bit of a shortage, which means that we have a shortage of everything right now, which is not good. And the temperature in the base is still slowly heating up, which is really, really bad. We've got 45. Over here, we've got pockets of over 80 degrees, because these produce a fair bit of heat. So, yeah, these electrolyzers are great, but the gas pressure is starting to become a problem for us. I want to remove that, because they get seriously stressed when they get wet feet. You'd think they could just walk around the puddles, but nope, 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 they can't go doing anything like that. Right, so now this bad boy in here is going to be on a priority of 7, so builds will go higher than that, but this is, for the most part, going to be our main build, and we now have a food shortage. There is another thing that I can do. Well, actually, I just want to go up and check on our little farm up here. This is now starting to work quite well. We've got the cooling going on with the incubator right here, and that is working beautifully on it. Now, what I can do is I can make this a little bit bigger. Gossman down here is standing in a hot area just so that he overheats, which is really intelligent. Yeah, what I can do with that is I can actually make that a little bit bigger, and then I can put in an extra shove bowl, or an extra incubator, and then our starvation farm up here will produce far more food. Not going to worry about that now, though. I'm not going to get into that. I know that the cooling is kind of important, which I will, you know, if I was to continue this series on for a lot longer, then I would go and address that. Now, I want to deconstruct this one, and I want to deconstruct that as well, which means now all of the gas that's being picked up by that, which is mostly carbon dioxide at the moment, that is now going to be shipped off all the way down here and pumped out down there. And it's on a high pressure gas vent as well, which means it will go up to a considerable amount of pressure. This one, as long as it would actually keep running, it would be brilliant. Gossman seems like he's struggling a bit. Let's have a look at the plumbing overlay. See, we're already backed up on these. I've now got 4 kilowatts of power coming off of these. And I'm having trouble with these. They're constantly starting and... well, that one's constantly starting and stopping just because it's out of liquid. So there's no liquid in there. But I'm happy with that one, just keep going. But a lot of these others are constantly starting and stopping. And that's getting to be a bit... this one here in particular. But there is something, I believe, that is causing that. And it's over here. I'm not getting enough power coming off the system going into there. Plus, I've also got on here 1,440 watts, and that's coming off of a 1,000 watt transformer. So that's our biggest problem, is the transformer that I'm using for it is too small, so I need to deconstruct that one and go into power. Now, what you can do, and I did do, I've like tried it out and it works really well, is you can just put 2 small power transformers in and that works, or you can plonk in a big one. So I'm just going to plonk in a big one like that, and then I'm going to go to the conductive wire. I'm going to remove those 2 bits of wire right there, and then I'm going to put in a piece of wire right there, and that will cure all of those problems. Get those and that all started up as soon as it runs in. Power overlay. There we go. We've now got a transformer, and it goes all the way up, and that is... still running out of power. Still running out of power. You've got 4 kilowatts going in there. But have a look at this. Current load 8 at a 20. I'm just not getting enough coming in here. Like, it's starting to get little bits coming in here, but it's not enough. Everything's kind of trying to get through, but it's just not sufficient to get in there and do everything that we want it to do, unfortunately. So kind of need to work on that still. I've got a lot of hydrogen here, but I've got that saved up for other things. Now, I've got a hydrogen machine working right there, and then we've got some extra ones over here for any other hydrogen that we do pull out of the system. I've got loads of oxygen coming up there, loads more oxygen down here, and loads coming down this way. So, I mean, oxygen is absolutely fine, and we're doing all the filters that I want to do, chucking stuff out of here. That one possibly is the only one that's in the wrong place, because that's bringing the carbon and putting it back in. I'm pulling the oxygen out, and then I'm chucking everything else away, which is not very good. I'm going to reject those. I had this bit over here, which I had grand plans for making some big bedrooms, but I'm kind of wanting not... well, I do want to... well, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for a little while. We need to let the replicants rest. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And I am just going to drag out this farewell just a tiny little bit, just so that there is enough space and time on the screen to put up a couple lots of you absolutely wonderful supporters of the channel. You should be seeing some of your names coming up now. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.